And yes, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I even don't have my headphones on. I look like I've just woken up because I have. Literally 5 minutes ago, I just woke up. How have we all been? Have you missed me? Have you missed us? That's great. Yes. Let me know how you all are. I don't know how anyone else is out there. Oh, Shark. Hi, Shark. And Crumbly. Hey, 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 hey. I better invite Shark on, actually. And it's not doing it. My damn phone is not obeying me. Oh, nice to know nothing else much changes when you take a wee break. And let's invite someone on. Shark. Invite mine. I just tried to phone him. And here we go. Tonight we have got a special one. Not just my grand return.
Oh, hi! it's oh no, I'm so used to having my phone a certain way. Now it's like I gotta change the other way. It's like, okay, now my angle's all screwed up. Like, man.
How are you, pal?
Doing good. How about you?
I've been all right, mate. You know, I had a wee break. A bit knackered. I literally just woken up 5 minutes ago. But you know, and yeah, I'm just waiting for disco now. But you know, that's it. I've actually got COVID at the moment, so I'm not wearing.
Oh wow.
Yes. So yeah, I actually thought it was just a cold, and it turns out no, it's actually COVID.
Oh, not. I want to say nice, but like,
yeah,
you got the decent version of it, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I mean, I basically, I basically, you know, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I've had my jabs and I'm doing well, but I won't be drinking tonight.
Yeah, that's what Disco was telling me.
Yeah.
This morning or earlier.
But yeah, I'm just WhatsApping Disco right now saying, yes, come join us.
Oh, he's afraid.
Well, I'm not that contagious.
Yeah. Well, not of you. I mean.
Anyway, what have you got in store for us? Because this is going to be, I'll just let the audience know. Disco is trying Sierra Nevada, and Shark, who's a bit of a smoked beer skeptic, is going to be having some smoked beer. What have you got for us, pal?
Yeah, I mean, for here, there was a couple porters that I thought were going to be released recently, and nobody. If they are, they're not around here. So I was like, because like one of them was a smoked porter. Going, okay, that was going to be. I would have liked that. So it was kind of hard. So basically, this is going to be one. So hopefully, it's Iceland.
Yeah.
So I got that one. And it says basically brew with smoked barley. So I'm going like, well, okay, that's kind of a one. Then obviously, I think this is going to be well known with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a vanilla like this was like it was the Marzen, but I let it go. Then they had one I was going to kind of play on the smoke theme. It was called Campfire Stout, and it was supposed to taste like s'mores, but I'm going, that was going to probably be way too sweet for me. So I kind of let that one go. So
okay, well, that's all right, mate. Well, thanks for your efforts. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Evening.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Greetings. How we doing, gentlemen?
All right.
Good. Yeah, basically this little sample here is my Christmas beer, my winter warmer.
Oh, right.
I just kegged it, and so this is a little bit of the remnants of it. So I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Cool.
7%.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a little warm. I mean, it's really warm, so it's probably in the 20s. So it's not really ideal drinking temperature, but it'll do for a split
like an apple syrup that I just bang in with amaretto.
Oh yeah.
I started those with it recently, just like a nice little livener, you know what I mean? Crumbly Beards
Yeah.
in, sir. Good to see
It
you.
certainly is.
Maker.
It's disco time. There's no disco music tonight.
That's right. So, okay. Before we kick off on the main event, you mind what I go through what I've been up to over the past 2 weeks? Hello, Mersey Beers.
Oh, no, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. What you up to?
So basically, I took 2 weeks off to recharge my creative batteries. This isn't working, so I'm going to go fly solo without it. And basically, I met one of my heroes. I didn't really meet him. I saw him live on stage. Great Mark Kermode, the film critic. And on the way there, I popped by the Waterloo Tap. And I had a few beers, and it's been a while. I hadn't been to the Waterloo Tap since February 2020. I came across a beer. Hello, Meat, Beers and Booze, boss, sorry, from Thornbridge, and it's a Manchester style bitter. Now, can anyone out there tell me when a Manchester style bitter became a thing, or what is the difference between it and any other bitter? Because I don't know.
That's one from Adam from Mersey Beers. If he's still in, he's mostly fond of all knowledge beers from up that way. You're right, I don't know, Rasper. Is there a difference between a Manchester bitter and I don't know, well, you get Yorkshire bitter. I was talking about Yorkshire bitter last night with Thomas, but what's the difference in style? That would be a very interesting point to find out.
Yeah, so if anyone can enlighten me. And the ironic thing is, though, before I went to see Kermode, I spent weekend completely sober. So when you two were up live with each other, I was asleep. I just had a nice lay-in. So I didn't want to lower my immunity. But as soon as that didn't really help long term. So nothing was getting in the way of seeing Kermode. I went back to also last weekend my old stomping ground. Well, sort of a pub I used to love, the Wenlock Arms. I checked out how it was all very nice. But before I went there, I went to the Fountains Mill. And this has been on the telly recently. The Craft Beer Channel did a video out there, and it is quite well known in beer circles, but I've never been there. So that's how well known it was to me. I preferred it more than I did the Wenlock, in all honesty, in terms of vibe. Wenlock has more cask, but the beer ranges were just slightly better in the old Fountain. And has a sister bar as well, so it's expanding. So this world famous bar is expanded, and I've just realised this. What I had at the old Fountain Mill was one by Roosters, London Thunder, and considering they're not a London brewery, that's quite a nice compliment of them. A classic porter, they say, at 4.2%. I had quite a bit of Signcraft in a stubby can. And I had also Anspach and Hobday's Brew York collaboration, Indiana Stout and the Last Crusade at 6%. That's an interesting one, because you know how you get certain beers made by breweries and it's from that brewery just simply by the taste. This tastes like an Anspach beer and a Brew York beer.
Okay.
That's weird. So that was a quite good, nice treat. I think I'll be pumping by the old Fountain a bit more in times to come. Looking at my notes again, sorry. And in a local of mine, I came across I put this up on the Instagram from Oil, I think it's called. It's a Julie malt. It's a very barrel-aged, boozy bit of joy. And you definitely feel the booze. It's something very nice for Christmas. If anyone wants to buy that for me for Christmas, they can go ahead. And that's pretty much it. It does cost 12 quid, by the way. 12 quid per bottle. So there you go. Anyone else got some beer discoveries or beer news? I've got a few shout outs to go ahead, because before I was diagnosed with COVID, I was doing research for this, and I came across the beer blogger Mark Johnson, and I tweeted at him, had he any advice for this, and he gave me some advice what to have, and it's all pretty much the usual beers that come across. And I didn't put that in my bloody notes, what he said. So that's fucking useless of me.
You asked him about the smoked beers, didn't you? I saw that tweet.
Did, yeah.
So, yeah, he gave you some... he gave you a reply, I believe.
He did. He one from Donzoko. And I'm in our Twitter now. Here we go. How exciting. It's not like I say in that Twitter, but yeah. Right, yeah. What did Mark Johnson say? What did he say?
The lesson spotted Jake has stolen Craig's phone. Good to see. I did see you on YouTube. They're all up, Rasco. They're all up at Harry's place. They was living on YouTube earlier. Little house party.
Mm.
There's Adam, Mersey Beers, there's Kent there, Jake.
Okay. Yeah, Mark recommended smoked on offering. Tauruside, Orvoda, Franco, and the Reich wine specifically. Cloudwater and Donzoko have recently done some smoked porters, which he recommended. In cyber stalking Mark, I came across a new podcast called Rhythm and Brews, and they've been around for about 4 years, and they compare beer styles to songs.
Oh.
Yeah. So
interesting.
That ain't bad. They're two mates who don't agree. Does that sound familiar?
Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, talking of which, Jake says, Craig, Adam Mersey Beers, Harry Bluenose, Peter, and Rory all up at Harry's place. So I'm sure there'll be lots of agreements and disagreements up there about beers.
Yeah,
one or two. Yeah.
Torside, the one I've been tracking for a while, but not quite got any orders out yet. They do quite a lot of really interesting looking beers. Not all smoked beers, they do a range. And Donzoko, I've got big traction here as well for some of their stuff, lagers and
that. Glad to see Rasco's water bottles back on the screen. Hope you're feeling better soon. Me too, mate, because I've got to be honest, I've got more chance of dying of boredom than I do of COVID at the moment. But
well, there's plenty of things to be cracking on with, sir. Though, unfortunately, it means you can't really do peer reviews or anything, can you? Because if you're off to go quite sensibly.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I'm craving a fucking beer right now. I'm really craving it, and hopefully this clears up. Well, I'm allowed out by Thursday because the Hope, a legendary pub, has a dark beer festival on, and I want to get there on the first day because I know nothing's going to be left come the second day. So
absolutely, yeah, they always sell out by the Friday or the Saturday, yeah.
So yes, that's that. Shark, how's your week been, mate? And thanks for covering for us 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no problem. I just figured I was on. I had asked if he wanted me to join. He said sure, and so then I kind of. It's really hard to replace you, Rasco. So, but I try my best.
Yeah, he's fairly unique, isn't he? Fortunately, he's fairly unique.
Yeah.
So you've been doing some brewing. What are you brewing?
I just happened to just finish probably a half hour ago. All the cleaning I like. Actually, I'm doing a pale ale. And so it's basically going to be a 5%, just American pale ale. And so So usually I have from previous beers, I had hops that I didn't use the whole quantity. So I'm just gonna. I just throw them in the beer, kind of play with the combinations, kind of thing, just for the fun of it.
Sweet. I just looked and realised I didn't plan that at all, but that was a lovely segue into what we're talking about today, because I've just looked at the can and it's 5%, isn't it? And it's an American.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so that was pretty much my morning. So obviously you probably saw my other little post on it. So from the spent grain, I can make dog treats. So obviously my dog was sitting there just begging and begging and begging. I'm like, no, you can't have it yet. So actually it's cooking right now. So it's like, but it'll be fine.
Oh, that's cool.
They'll be ready tonight.
The one time
they'll be ready tonight.
The lovely Sarah came round and made spent grain, like, was it flapjacks I think she made? Because, I don't have a dog to feed them to, so I get them. And they're pretty nice. That's a good thing.
Yeah, you can do. You can make bread, or you can make pizza crust. I might eventually may do that maybe next summer. I'll get the courage to try that. So,
I wonder why some breweries don't do that. Like if they've got a tap room or some kind of more commercial enterprise, use the spent grain, bung it in the cafe or whatever, use it as a extra product line.
Yeah, because it's food and it might be a different license. I mean, for here, I know it would, kind of thing. And basically, it's what they. I mean, like for us, I know around here, they get farmers come and get it to feed the cows.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a. But yeah, you would think that you would see more and more, or somebody would do that. I mean, kind of thing. But
yeah, I'm sure like food or bar snacks anyway. I would think they'd have the hygiene certificate, but I don't know what the hygiene regs are for using spent grain. Maybe it's it's counted as a waste product or something. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't. To me, it would just be an ingredient that you have to kind of process in a sense.
Well, I mean, the yeast stuff goes off to make Marmite. That's a yeast. That's a beer byproduct. So I don't know what the regulation.
Yeah, I mean the yeast. I mean the grain is coming way before anything. I mean basically it's part of the mash. I mean the beginning part, and so after that, before you even have the hops and stuff like that, I mean, when I was boiling my wort and all that, I was sitting there making those dog treats, kind of, because I had time to kill.
Yeah.
So, but I just think they don't have the oven, the cook. I mean, to cook it. I mean, they'll probably need a massive. To make it, the menus that make a lot of it, so I think it's just not.
Ingredients is probably a cost thing. Good evening, sir. I just got to figure out.
Hey, Alan Mead.
Hello, Alan.
So yeah, I'm just pretty much just getting ready for our Thanksgiving here next week. So, so basically, I'm gonna be kind of help cooking, as I call burning the house down. So.
Well, what do you usually eat at Thanksgiving? Turkey?
It's basically turkey, stuffing, sweet candy yams. So basically, sweet potatoes or yams, depends on what you call them, with marshmallows and molasses, brown sugar, mashed potatoes. Yeah, it's probably it's a lot of food, and I make my own cranberry sauce.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
Very nice, mate.
It's nice for leftover sandwiches.
Yeah, I bet, man. It makes me feel hungry.
That's another coincidental, nice little segue. I was going to say something to Rasco. There was a brewery over here in London that was brewing with yams today.
Yeah.
Wildcard. We're doing a collab with Rock Leopard? No, Eco, I think. And they were brewing with yams, I believe. And as always, just when I want to thing up, my internet goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a few of those beers here. It's kind of in place of the pumpkin beers in a sense. And you don't really taste it's a subtle taste to the beers with the yam, for the ones I've had.
Yeah.
Like anything overpowering.
Does it have much of a taste? Isn't it just like it's kind of like sweet potato, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean I'm trying to recall from a couple of years, but yeah, it's not really. like the pumpkin, you kind of get that. It's kind of less subtle than that. I mean, you can, yeah, it's there, but it's just not like, it's not an overpowering thing. Like you go like, wow, you're eating a sweet potato kind of thing. But no, it's not. It's I think it's just enough sugar to kind of help with the beer, kind of with whatever spices. It helps balance the beer out in a sense.
Yeah. Anyway, says he's drinking a Campfire Brown Ale from Irish brewery called Brew. Sounds pretty good. I don't actually know what I've seen references to Campfire, like Campfire Stout and Campfire. I guess it's just like a kind of sweet, smoky kind, as if you're having marshmallows around the campfires.
Yeah, well, like I was telling Roscoe, the one I was going to get, it's called Campfire Stout, and it's like you ever hit the s'mores, you have the graham cracker, the chocolate, and the marshmallow kind of together, and you kind of get that, I guess, vibe, I guess.
It says Roscoe's one swivel chair away from a Bond villain. I think you can make a good Bond villain, Roscoe.
I would. I really, it's what I aspire to be honest.
It would make a great name for a Bond villain, Roscoe, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It's Roscoe.
Yeah, I've got my little cat here as well,
Yeah. Oh,
Jojo's come to join us. He's wondering what
make himself something.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah.
So, did you start by covering, like, when we're talking about smoky beers, Chuck? What is your? I suppose we better get on with the main event and discussion before we crack into it pretty quickly. Like, what is your? Let's start with you for no apparent reason. But what is your thing with smoked beers then? What are we doing?
Oh, so basically, okay. I'm not saying like we talked before. It's not like I don't hate it. I don't want to say I don't hate it, but it's just not my thing because the ones I've had that real. I mean, it had real smoky and it had that real bacon kind of taste to it. And it was just, to me, it's just got really too sweet.
Okay.
And stuff like that. And so I was just like, So, because I've made beers. I mean, like I made a beer and like that. It's just, I think they just use too much smoked malt, and so you're just like drinking liquid smoke kind of thing.
It is a bit of a palate killer. Some of them, isn't it? Really, it's kind of. Some of them are a little bit too much. I mean, I know we was talking about the other day. I had the Schenkerla ones, the wrap beers, and I've had one. I'm sure I've had a much smokier or much stronger. But these, I didn't think they were that smoky at all. That's the mid-range one. That's the margin.
I'd agree with you, Disco. I had those from Beer Asylum 3 weeks ago, and I think a friend of mine summed it up. It's more barbecue than actual smoke. That was the inspiration for the Smoked Brown by a brewery I quite like, Anspach and Hop Day. But, I still loved it, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, no, I agree. It's not that smoky. It's barbecue, really.
Cool.
Yeah, so I just said those were breweries. I think they were just trying to do something different, and it was just like, okay, it just. And another too is we don't hardly get any here. So the few people that do try it, it just like it was a miss. So it's just like okay, it's like so. Like I said, there might be some out there, and hopefully maybe the two I got. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of an acquired taste, perhaps. So which one have you got there? Which one are you starting off with? Let's have a quick look.
Well, basically, I'm gonna let you choose between the what is it, the Einstein and the Icelandic Wee Heavy. Okay, wrong way. Freaking camera. Yeah. I got that one. Then I figure, that's probably going to be a mild because I think they just brewed. So it's kind of like, it says brewed with smoked barley. So I don't think I think they probably just did it on their own. Then obviously I have that one. So I was going, which is a DoppelBock.
Okay.
So I was going to get the Mars that you had, but that's just like I'm going, well, the bottles here, I don't know how old they were. I'm like, okay. They don't really have a date on them, so I'm going like, okay, I'm taking a chance kind of thing. So I figured, well, between those two, it was probably a good enough.
Okay, well, I'll let Roscoe try make the choice on the thing because I've got I haven't got the problem of not liking the beers because I don't know about them because I've never had them, as I was saying earlier. So I've got a bottle and a can of Sierra Nevada, the Pale Ale, the iconic. I love the label. The label's great because I like the bright green, like stands on both sides. That's cool. The lovely old kind of like Wild West style kind of scroll on the name looks great. But I just remember seeing them like back in the day when I was first being aware of craft, and then I saw American Pale Ale, and I'm like, when I was saying this to Thomas actually yesterday on his show, it's like when we were starting out, me and Rasco, you know, we come from a real ale background, so like, you know, real traditional beers and stuff like that, and I became aware of like more craftier beers that predominantly was kind of, I thought, or I got the impression that it was based on like hoppier American ales, which wouldn't sit on my palate. And I'd had a couple somewhere, I couldn't tell you what they were. As far as I'm aware, I never had that one. And like you saw Beavertown starting up with all the funky artwork. And I was confident it wasn't going to sit on my palate. So Sierra Nevada, I just gave massive swerve. And I just thought I wouldn't like it. Now, Rasco says I'm wrong. Crumby did a great video earlier in the year that suggests I'm wrong. And I think my palate has probably changed a little bit. You know, I've got American Pale Ales, like the Disco King from Turning Point is a palatable pale ale. It is quite hoppy, but I can do it. The couple I've had from Lords, I mean, that Band 1 is an American Pale Ale. I actually think it's more of a West Coast Pale Ale than a straight hoppy Pale Ale. I actually quite like the that West Coast kind of oranginess going on. And so maybe now is probably the time to try this, I think. I've probably got more excuses really because I am drinking some different stuff. Big guy, thank you very much. Great interview with Thomas last night. Some great questions from Thomas. It is up on YouTube to view afterwards. He said he enjoyed it. He said it was really, really good fun. I found it funny and a good laugh. So that is up there. So I suppose we better crack on really, Shah, couldn't we? And just try see what we find out, really.
Yeah. Well, don't keep the audience waiting. I suggest you hit the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale first, Disco.
Bottle or can first?
Isn't one of them the IPA?
Sorry?
Isn't one of them the IPA?
No. Yes. No. I've got one each of the Pale Ale in bottle and can. I kind of want to see the difference. I don't know if it is much of a difference. Would you say it's much of a difference?
I've never tried it in can. I'd suggest go with the bottle.
Crumbly said the bottle, so let's do it, man.
If I can also suggest you pour it and try and get the thickest head possible. Not too thick, but say that thick, right?
Okay.
Don't go with this.
Okay, which one are you going for, Shark?
I'm going to go with the Wee Heavy.
Sound as pounds?
Yeah. That's 8%. They're both 8% beers. I'm like, I didn't look at that part.
Nice. Hello, Thomas. He's now joined us. And you got some compliments there of your beer selection from Irish Craft there. Nice. Disco, very nice. Thank you, mate.
Not too bad.
There we go.
Does glassware matter with this? Actually, we got the same glass, haven't we? Pretty much.
No, I think you've got the perfect glass for it, mate.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. Because that way you get a little bit more of the nose aroma with it.
I agree.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't get any smoke smell.
Yeah.
Well, I have a. You want to try this? Nope. Okay.
It's becoming the animal show.
Yeah. Okay, here. I got another glass. Well, here I'm gonna have to share with my dog.
Still have that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is pretty much the aroma I was expecting, but it's nothing too nuts about it.
Now I have been doing a bit of research for this. And I have been going over an interview with Ken Grossman from the Beer O'Clock show. Was listening to it again just before we went up. And what's funny, I found a bit funny, is that back in 1980, when he was setting up, I mean, to get people into his brewery, he used to go around the local town giving out samples to the local restaurants to build up the. And one of the complaints he got is it's too bitter.
Yeah.
And I find that quite funny and he finds that funny because by today's standards, it's not bitter at all, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. What do you think, Disco?
I involuntarily gave a little shake of the head there, but it is bitter. It's got that kind of citrusy taste that I'm not that a fan of. It's got that kind of grapefruit notes on the edge. It does taste just a little bit muted. It's not as like massively hoppy as I was expecting, although I think I was right in that if I'd tried this 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have had another one. It's probably less hoppy than that Disco King and not the Band One, but the other one, the Super Pale Ale from Lord's, the Silver Spur, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop you there.
I'm okay with it, but it's still, I'm not fine with.
I'm going to stop you there because I don't want you to give. I think too many people like us come up here and we have our first sip and we give our judgment. So let's keep the judgments coming as you go down.
Yeah.
Now, Shark.
Won't be saying, as he does in his videos, giving a few sips, the malt will build. Fair enough.
Yep. Now, Shark, you're a Californian man. Have you ever been to the Sierra Nevada brewery?
No, actually, I have not. Surprisingly,
right?
Because obviously it's probably about 700 miles away from me, so it's
a big place, isn't it?
it's a hard day drive. It's a small day drive.
It's like saying, have we ever been to like the Inverness Brewery or something, or like the Highlands Brewery?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't. So, how's your beer going, mate?
Mine is basically it is a wee heavy. I give it that. There is a very subtle hint of smoke. You get that more on the taste, like on the back end. Like right now, I can kind of taste that little bit of that smoky kind of. And the beginning is typical Scottish wee heavy. You get that herbal, boozy kind of malty taste to it. So that's why I kind of want to start with this one because it'll kind of warm me up because I figure the next one is probably going to be the one that's going to hit me.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to warm up with it. So yeah, I mean, so obviously, I gotta say it's brewed with it says smoked barley. So I think they didn't really do it too much. I think they were because obviously their mass distribution. I think they kind of kept it mild so that way people would buy it, kind of thing. Basically, kind of like with the Sierra Nevada.
Oh, interesting. 700 miles from here is more like Oslo. Oh,
yeah, no, fair enough. In actual miles, I was thinking of like with being in the same country, like. But it probably is a couple of hundred. Yeah, Scotland must be 500 miles. Well, Crumbs, because he drives on Scotland quite a lot. So,
indeed,
I'm giving it a few tips.
It is worth noting. I'm back on Sierra Nevada. That the only thing that has changed in the Pale Ale in 40 years in the recipe is they had to change the barley in the late 80s because the barley they were using, Galogos, I'm mispronouncing that, had just gone. It evolved out. So this happened globally, and they change it. I find that quite fascinating. Shark, how long have you been drinking the Pale Ale, if you mind me asking?
Well, I'm 50, so it's 29, over 29 years.
Wow.
I mean, roughly.
Yeah.
Also, probably a little bit less than that. I mean, but yeah, no, because usually, for a while, I kind of most of their beers, it was kind of iconic taste to it. So you can almost do a blind test and put that in front of me. I'll say, oh, it's Sierra Nevada. Then they would do another beer from Sierra Nevada, going, yep, that's Sierra Nevada. So wherever yeast, wherever it was like, okay, they had a noticeable character to it. All their beers, okay, that's Sierra Nevada kind of thing. And that okay. So I give it time.
Yeah.
Then when I started talking to you guys, okay, now I said, you know what, I'm gonna kind of try it again.
Yeah.
So like right now, the Sierra Nevada beer I have right now in the refrigerator is called Celebration. It's their fresh hop IPA.
Yeah.
So basically, they picked the hops from the plant and basically right then went to make the beer. So.
I mean.
So it's a little bit. Bit more. I mean, so sorry. Yeah, it's not a typical IPA. I mean, because it's not that real. I mean, it's still got the bitter, but it's probably almost like a pale ale, but maybe just a tad, a little bit more bitter, but kind of thing. But not by much. But it's.
Yeah, because what they're highly praised with, and this happens a lot with breweries, I can think of quite a few, and one Scottish one in particular, who won't be named, who've been around for only, 12, 13 years or so, and their consistency in beer has just plummeted. No one says that what the beers they do is any good. Sierra Nevada have been around 40 years, 41 years to be precise. No one's complaining about their consistency in their drinks. Everyone, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's basically like make him just go and change his judgment here, but it's a balanced pale ale. It's not malty, it's not overhopped. It's just kind of down the road. You kind of get a little bit of both kind of thing. So they're pretty good. I mean, obviously they've been doing it for 40 years, so they pretty much have it down pat.
Yeah, but
kind of thing.
Well, what breweries tend to do is they just, if they're putting it in supermarkets, you just milk it or just water it down, put it out, and just make money on the name and not the quality. And this, I can't say that about Sierra Nevada.
But basically the one thing too you can really look at it is it's a basic pale ale. There's nothing like fancy. I put this. I put a rose bush, or I put this and that, whatever. They didn't do anything. This is an American pale ale, and this is it. So it's a go-to beer in a sense.
I completely agree with you. Crumbly said that was the first time he saw Sierra Nevada. It was around 2010-ish. Yes, mate, I'll tell you the first time I saw it and drank it in the UK. I had seen it around in New York City and Los Angeles. No, actually, I saw it in. First time I had it was in an American bar, American restaurant in the West End called Joe Allen's. It's a bit of a theatre joint. Everyone who goes to see the theatre goes by there. I didn't have a lager I used to drink there called Moosehead, a Canadian lager. So I went with Sierra Nevada, and I was quite pleased.
Yeah.
And that was I'm going to say spring 2010.
But I would say there's like with Paul Beer Reviews, we did the triple IPA called Optimum, and it was the same thing. It was a well balanced triple IPA. So, I mean, it wasn't. You had a little tad booziness, but everything was balanced. So it's like it's one of those almost beers that you can.
It's a bit of an oxymoron for me, I think. You can't be balanced.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing about it is that if you drink 2 or 3 of those, the next thing you know, you're going like, okay, it'll hit you. Yeah. It's one of those that'll sneak up on you kind of things. And so if you're not paying attention, you're like, oh yeah, that's great, boop, kind of thing. Like, whoops. But as I said, I think if you get if you get the Narwhal, I think that's their stout. I think you'll probably like it.
I've seen it about, and I've sort of contemplated it, but that would be. But I wanted to do the pale ale first anyway because it's like a classic.
I got you. But I think down the road, if you can get that, you would probably okay. That's pretty good.
It just seems to have been around forever. It must have been 2010, around about as a big first. Even prior to that, maybe, I don't know. I mean, certainly around.
Here we go. Technical issues.
Yeah.
the pale's
Okay,
getting to him.
you blanked out. Where did it? Is it okay now?
Disco, no, you're sounding like a robot.
Okay.
In fact, both of you are frozen on my screen. I don't know how I look. Probably beautiful, but oh no, shark's moving.
No, I just doing those tricks.
Oh man, no, Disco, you're a bit
so Disco. So what temperature did you have the pale ale at?
I don't know because that's not the sort of detail I notice. I put it in the fridge for probably a couple of hours. It's been in my store, which is pretty cold. My beer stash is under the stairs on the outside wall, so it's pretty cold. I'm guessing about 4 or 5, maybe. I don't know. Probably less than that.
Okay.
Even.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I was kind of curious if he had it super cold or super warm. I mean, really room temperature kind of thing. But
yeah. Well, I've got a can of each, so I kind of left one like in the beer stash, but that's just as cold really as this one coming out of the fridge, pretty much, because it's pretty cold under the stairs.
Yeah, because as this warms up, the taste is it's getting more sweet.
really
Kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, now because it's 8%, so I go, yeah.
Yeah. It's going down. It's 5%. It's going down okay. It's got some good lacing on the glass, to be fair. So I'm. It is quite drinkable. I wouldn't say it's super balanced. There is that nod fruit kind of citra kind of thing, hoppiness. But I never say that makes it a bad beer. I can tell if it's a decent beer or not. It just doesn't quite sit so well on my palate. I'd say, would I have another one? Well, I've got to because I've got one in a can. So generally, maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, Disco, what I got out of that is it's balanced and it's quality, and you enjoyed it. I'm glad. That's all I got out of that. It's some.
Do you know what? I'm pleased I've tried it. I'm pleased I've broken the duck.
I'll be kind of curious to see how you like the can.
Yeah.
I'm less looking forward to the IPA, I think, now, because I think that would be hoppy. It says on the can, citrusy and sessionable. Well, I'll be the judge. But there we go.
Yeah, we just got a message from the meat boss. Just opt Golden Dank. You opened the Golden Dank. It's beautiful. I've had Dank. And I had the Dank Full at the London Craft Beer Festival of Sierra Nevada, and it was good. I can't really say much because at that point everything was good because I'd been on a beer festival for 2 days. So, yeah, there you go. A little special, is it? Indeed. I will say this. I got in touch with Trembling Madness, asked them what they had in terms of Sierra Nevada. They didn't have a lot, but they said they were bringing more in for Christmas. They had a few stouts, which seemed nice, but they weren't.
Well, is it called Cascade Club? I think that's they do a lot of Sierra Nevada beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because back on the interview I listened to with Ken Grossman, is that the kit he has over in Chico, I mean, it's 60 years old. I mean, it was secondhand when he brought it, and he's kept it going. And apparently, he was more into porters and stouts than he was in pales. It's interesting, and that is his first love. And everything he tries out, every new kit or whatever, he tries out his original stout recipe in the kit to see how it goes first. So I think it's great. And there's a man who knows his craft and knows his business. The beer hop, message from Crumbly, beer hop in SN. Is Stronghold here? Yes, I guess so.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're pretty good. Obviously, they brew in North Carolina, so it's easier to ship from there to the Europe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what the whole ground was set up for, or the operation in North Carolina was set up for, to take over Europe. But I mean, I'm pleased for you, Disco, for trying it, and well done, sir. And
go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I'm running out of things.
Yeah, but as I said, the narwhal, their stout, I think, and then if you get the whole of their porter, their standard porter, I think those would be the ones that you would be really pleased with.
It does get better towards the end. It does get a bit better towards the end, kind of fades a little bit. Still a little bit too grapefruity for me, but yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Do you know what it's like when I say about hoppies? Like I know, like Vasco loves to mention Jaipur, which is obviously an IPA, so something slightly different. But that's quite hoppy, and I kind of drink that. I mean, if I saw that, I would probably quite happy. If I saw it in a pub, I'd probably have a go if there wasn't so much choice on, and that was the choice. It is drinkable. My palate has changed. I'm going to move straight on to see what the can. See if I can find any difference in the can.
Yeah. No, the thing is, though, I would say Jaipur is more hoppier than Sierra Nevada. Yeah, I don't find. I don't find the pale ale that hoppy. I don't get much grapefruit. I don't remember.
Okay. Here, you want want some beer? Here.
Oh my God!
No. No. Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I haven't even opened it up yet. Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. Here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Woohoo!
We're on to the big one, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So that one was just, to me, is almost just a regular.
Yeah.
First one was definitely a wee heavy Scotch ale. But wow, okay.
It's just going to be the tester, is it?
Yeah, just sniffing the bottle, like and of course this is the bigger bottle of the two.
More of it.
Nice. Sam, message from Meat Beer Boss. I like your name, by the way. Sam Brooks, Pagona Pills, bloody amazing. Yeah.
A new one from Sam Brooks. I haven't seen a lot from Sam Brooks for a while. I haven't really had any Sam Brooks.
Actually, you know what? I had a Brooklyn Lager. I had the non-alcoholic Brooklyn Lager because I went to see Dune in the cinema and I wanted a beer. And that was the only decent beer they had. And I thought, fine, I don't care.
Wow, really?
Yeah, literally the cinema was awful for beer. So I went to a 0% ABV and it was really nice. I didn't notice at all it didn't have any booze in it. I'd have it any time, to be honest. That's a story I forgot to say.
Might be the next one I have to try, maybe if I'm going down American beers, because I've never had Brooklyn Lager either.
Yeah.
Again, because I see it as an American product in a British supermarket, and I don't think it will fit for me. But I think that's the other thing that certainly Sierra Nevada. I thought I saw it very early on in supermarkets, so I just assumed I equated it with that kind of mass-produced, probably owned by big beer kind of. I mean, I was wrong, but I think that's the other reason I gave it a swerve. Like, you know, as opposed to, I mean, it took a while for me even get into craft beer in supermarkets. So maybe it's just assumptions on my part, you know. And I put my hand up and say,
yeah. Well, like I said, I tease Paul once in a while. I go to a supermarket, and of course we get a whole cooler refrigerator section. It's just nothing but Sierra Nevada. Going, oh, what is this beer? I need to try it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Hello, Lush Hops. By the way, welcome. Good to see you. Maybe you can join us sometime. Maybe. Anyway, how's it going? Anyway, have you? It was great. It was great. Yeah, it was great.
Nice try, son.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm kind of.
Oh.
It's. I mean, obviously the aroma. Obviously, definitely they get the smoke and obviously the taste. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Fire. The bacon. Kind of. I mean, the campfire burnt. Kind of. I mean, the taste to it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's on top of a DoppelBock on top of it, same thing too. So it's kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Last shop sales what we're doing just quickly for him. I'm doing my first ever try of Sierra Nevada. Put my hands up and say I should have tried it before, but never got around to it. And Shark Brewing across the pond there is doing smoked beers because he doesn't really like them. It's not that I didn't like Sierra Nevada, I just never tried them. But you really don't like that, do you?
No, I'm drinking water.
Yeah. Roscoe's making out on this, I think.
Yeah, I am. No, you're not.
Yeah, so what are you getting, Shark? You're really not enjoying it?
Yeah, because that's all I'm tasting is that smoke.
Right.
To it. I mean, I don't get the DoppelBock anything of the DoppelBock in a sense. I mean,
Do you know what? I think I can taste it from here.
I mean, I would probably too, because as soon as I open it up, I mean, I literally went like this, and I can smell it. I'm like, what? I'm like, holy cow! My dog went boom to beeline and go like, oh hell no!
There you go. Lush Hops believes.
So, but yeah,
Sierra
it's the only two is it's not ice cold. I mean, I brought it out just before we started here, so it's I don't know how long we were on. So it's kind of warmed up a little bit. So that smoke is probably really coming through now more than if it was really cold.
Really, so you chilled it.
I wanted to get that aroma kind of thing. I was kind of hoping I'd be like, oh, but
fair enough. Because
I would basically what I would do, it depends where I'm at. If I was like camping, maybe by the fire, okay, I'll have one, try it, kind of thing, and that would probably be it. I'll be like, okay,
yeah.
No, even us, I don't think we do that many of them, would we, Rascal? We love a smoked beer, but I think it's a kind of end of the evening defining beer, I think.
But yeah, now I'll almost be curious. I mean, I don't know if I would do it or not. Is now if I were to go to another beer, what would I mean? How much is my palate ruined now with that smoke?
Yeah, I think
kind of thing.
I would always imagine
I'd with IPAs
to like a stout rather than anything lighter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't do a lager or anything like that. But I was just like, I was wondering if I were doing IPA kind of thing, would that just eat through the smoke that I have on my palate right now? Because right now, I can just it's lingering in my tongue and stuff like that. I mean,
maybe a smoked lager.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I think if I had a like this, but if something that was a little bit more mild, kind of like, okay, you can kind of get off of it, kind of thing. But I said, I think this is basically a good. I would say this is a good sipping beer. Like I say, if you're sitting around a campfire, kind of like, okay, this is your last beer for the night, kind of like an imperial stout, kind of thing. Like, okay, you're just not going to chug it. You're just going to sip on it and kind of enjoy it. I think.
I'd agree with that.
So maybe not something to do mid-afternoon where you are now, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, okay.
I hope we haven't ruined your Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, as I said, it's not like I'm not. It was like, oh my god, I want to throw it down the drain. But I just said it's to me would be a sipping beer.
Yeah.
So you get that.
What you're getting into.
Yeah, so I get that. I still get that lingering, smoky bacon kind of vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
then doing too is it's 8%.
Ooh.
I think it's 8%. Or was it?
It is, mate. It is.
Yeah, it's 8%. Yeah.
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 I'm being informed that my local supermarket has been restocked with some decent beers. Well, that's at this point in time for me. That is so close, but yet so far, as I cannot go and get anything. Anyway, appreciate that. Let me know, Monaco Craft. I do, mate. Be careful. I've got COVID. Or had COVID. I don't know.
I don't know if we got Rasco. There was a lot of pixelation and sound quality going on, but
So now Roscoe's having technical issues.
Yeah, so his local supermarket, his beer shop that Monaco and Craft knows, he's saying he's got a good restock of stuff this week. So unfortunately, Rasco can't go there because of certain health issues right now.
Yes, indeed.
Do they?
That is.
Do they deliver? I mean, I don't know if they would deliver beer or not, but I mean.
They should do for Rasco. He should have an account there. He goes there often enough. They know.
They do. They like the fact I mention them on this show as well, actually.
I'm sure you get on the front of the big man. They'd run a few cans down the road for you. It's only up the end of the road, isn't it?
Literally.
You can set some aside.
Literally.
Place your order and say, hey, I'll pick it up in a few days.
Yeah, we'll be there next week.
It probably won't be, but yeah. Let's see. Shark, a question for you, mate. Are you a fan of malty beers?
Me?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm I like my go-to style. Obviously, you asked the question. Well, okay, what is your favorite beer style? I would say a brown ale,
right,
kind of thing. So I'm kind of leaning more to the. And it was just kind of funny. So sometimes the American brown ale, which is kind of a little bit more hoppy version, sometimes depends again. It depends on kind of hops you use. Some of those I'm fine with, and some like, no, what, I'm just gonna like Disco is like, no, it just turns me off.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Because
but no, then like I said, the Scotch ale, I love the Scotch ale, kind of things. The porters and stouts, I mean, I'm okay with. It's just a hit and miss. It just depends what I'm doing, in a sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool notification to meet people. Thanks for the follow. Cheers. Just got a little notification on the screen.
So thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, because what I'm reading here, my research is that the smoke comes from the malt,
Rasco,
and it's dried over an open flame, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's what I kind of thought with this one would have been like kind of like that. You kind of they put the malts out and kind of when they're drying it out when they put a bunch of smoke, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of funny because I was so.
What's interesting is that it's done with a certain type of log, a birchwood log, not just any old flame. Can't do over a gas stove or anything.
Yeah.
But over birchwood log. So it's kind of I find that quite interesting. It originates mostly from Germany and Poland, around about 11th century, Bamberg to be more precise. Yeah, and it was used as a way of keeping beers fresh over the time. 8-bit Rasco, am I?
Yeah.
Great.
It does look all 8-bit from here. I don't know about everybody else's screen.
Yeah, even for me, he's really pixelated.
Yeah.
But again, like you guys said, isn't Roscoe and Disco without any technical issues?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like transatlantic issues. I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's just maybe the technology is struggling with the distance and whatever. I don't know, but it happens. It happens whether there's distance or not. So, do you know what? I think it's been all right for the last few weeks. I think we've been okay. It's been fine, Rasco. It's just suddenly today started going a bit 8-bit again. That's a great description, by the way, Crummy. 8-bit Rasco.
Well, I think it was great last week because there was no show last week. So 2 weeks ago, I rewatched that and there was some technical crap going on. Oh, Instagram, how much I have not missed you.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is actually, I'm getting used to it. So it's not that smoky is not really hitting me as much now. I'm kind of like, okay, now I'm kind of enjoying it because my palate's changed and it's kind of, I'll say, blended kind of thing.
What else are you getting beyond the smoke? Is there any other?
I'm still kind of getting at that, but it's not pronounced because I think this my palate is just kind of changed, and I just basically say I'm adjusted to it kind of thing. Just like any other beers, you drink enough of it, like okay, it's kind of thing. So obviously you saw me. I poured the rest of it in the bottle, so I'm just like chucking it kind of thing. So I'm gonna be a gamer. I'm gonna drink it all. So yeah, I'm gonna go see. I think I'm gonna be seeing Ghostbusters tonight. So I'm gonna really be spooked tonight. Like woo!
There's something strange in your neighborhood, mate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should see it in 3D so it really pop out like. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. As I said, it's the smoke is just lingering, but I just think, as I said, I'm just getting used to it and kind of thing. So I'm starting slowly enjoying it kind of thing. But as I said, like I said before, to me, it's still a sipping beer. I'm not gonna be like Steve and just chug it.
No,
I'm glad you asked that, Cromley. Cromie Beard says, what does it say on Disco's shirt? And you thought I was taking the mickey earlier, Cromie, when I said an actual band with a T-shirt. I said it must be an actual band. Readers Club. I know it doesn't work so well in backwards writing. Check on YouTube if I do flip it and put it on YouTube, it actually says the Slow Readers Club.
There you go.
It's an actual band. Check them out. And it's where often if you see to the end of our videos, you hear us say the term "believe enough to lose control." It's a line from one of their songs.
Here's something I found out which is quite interesting. Rauchbier literally translates from German as smoked beer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something I was not aware of.
Well, that's what I love Marzens kind of thing. So I was like, I was willing to do it, but I was just like, no, what? It's kind of like, as I said before, it's kind of like I don't know how old that was, kind of thing. Like, because the bottle shop I go to, kind of I pick these up. They have some beers that are just like sitting there for like too long. I'm like, okay, like,
yeah.
So that's why I was like a little bit leery. Like, well, I said, it's like, I had to pick one. I had to pick some. So like I said earlier, it was really hard to find any that was truly smoked beers kind of thing. Because obviously this wasn't really, I would say, smoked, but if it was really subtle compared to what I'm drinking now. But like I said, there was, but the Alaska Brewing Company, they have a smoked porter. I was like, they were just advertising it. I'm like, that would have been a perfect one, but I couldn't get it. So it'll probably available tomorrow.
Out of interest, this question occurs: to your knowledge, have Sierra Nevada ever done or got a smoked beer on the lineup? Do they do one?
I would say no. I would say
yes. Ken Grossman is quite a fan of smoked beers. If anyone heard that.
Yeah, no, we have that. You're going to have to back that up with some facts, I think. I mean, I looked through most of their beers and couldn't particularly see one. I know they've got a barley wine.
I'm Googling it now, in fact. Maybe they did that as a special, but he is quite a fan of them.
Well, Crummy Beard says, I thought one of the Impy Stouts was. So, it's not the Narwhal.
No.
No. As I said, it might have been a one-off release.
Yeah.
If it's anything, it's going to be a one-off. It won't be one of their regulars.
No.
But yeah.
But if they did,
because they do that. We do see one-offs here, so kind of thing.
If they did, would you rush out and buy it?
Sure. you would have to. You would have to. Then you would have to go get another citrusy, grapefruity IPA or pale ale.
Do you know what? I think now I will have a look out if I happen to see one around. If they, something else comes up. I know they've got other ones like. I mean, I'd love to have tried that the Oktoberfest one. That I guess I don't think was out here, but I would have had a look.
No.
Oh well.
Yeah. So how are you liking the IPA?
Well, I'm not onto it yet. I'll get onto it in a sec. I'm slowing up a little bit with the can. I don't know. Maybe I should just go on to the IPA.
Okay. Well, so did you find any difference between the bottle and the can of the pale ale?
Yeah.
Not particularly. I think there's a slight difference in carbonation, obviously because of the dispense. But no, I think the citrus levels is roughly the same. Flavors is pretty much there. Body's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Again, it's. I mean, the
I can't really.
Legs on that maybe it looks more. There's much more like alcohol legs on that. I think it's like the other one was the lacing was much better. That one's just looks more like a like something imperial or something, but obviously it's not. But
interesting.
Yeah. I heard. I mean, I heard. I mean, I haven't got any facts or to back it up, but I heard that even though the bottles, they still lose. It still leaks carbonation. It's a very, 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 very slow, but it's still so kind of thing.
Okay.
Which is I sort of makes sense, but I had nothing to back it up. But it was kind of interesting. So a couple of people had said, going okay, and the people I heard it from were like, okay, I think I kind of trust them a little bit. Yeah. But I'm going like, well, the bottles have been around for so long. I don't think they wouldn't sell beers like that. If that was the case. But
I think it'd be allowed to.
It's an interesting story.
Enough.
Oh, here we go.
So, wow. So that's much paler. I would say that's much paler.
Stop the press. Okay. To answer the question, Sierra Nevada have produced a smoked beer called Rauch Beer.
Okay.
And
the difference on that's the ale and that's the IPA.
Yeah.
There's a world of difference in those colours, isn't there?
Yeah, I would probably say, I think I've actually seen, since you said the name, I think I've actually seen it. Whether or not I've had it, I'm not positive.
Yeah. Well, it's only 700 miles away from you, man. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's in at 6.5% ABV and 22 bitterness units. It's literally a smoky beer. There's not much else I can tell you about it, but it's up on their website.
Yeah.
But something to keep an eye out for, fellas. I thought. And I've got what's that?
But no, there's actually an IPA that I love. It's called Ruthless. It's a rye IPA. It's like they produce every so often.
All right. Crumbly Beers is good with technology, and he sent me a question. He said, "Is the IPA a European special?" I believe. Oh, I don't know.
Like that's basically I was going to say that. So the beer Disco is drinking right now. I can't get here.
Really?
Yeah. They don't sell it here.
Oh, okay. So
it's a marketing. So it's a marketing thing for Europe.
Interesting.
Supermarket. supermarket. I got this in a 4-pack in. Yeah, Tesco, I think, or Morrison's. One that I forget where I've been now. But okay, do you mind not having that? Was that one you'd like be happy with trying, or?
Talking about him or me?
Yourself.
I basically, I would try it if I can get it, but it's like we can't even go to the website to order it. It's just not.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, it's distribution for kind of thing. I just compete with what I don't know, but it's just I see people drinking like okay, and I looked and I even emailed Sierra Nevada. I was like, hey, and he said, well, no, it's for Europe and kind of thing. I'm like, okay.
Which is odd because it must surely go down pretty well there. I mean, it smells quite fruity, it smells like it's going to be quite hoppy, but it's like got quite a fruity, juicy kind of aroma to it. Probably more so than the pale ale, I think. Cheers.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit more of an IPA, West Coast IPA out of that probably.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's hints of the West Coast there. I wouldn't say it was. Again, having had band 1 just the other day, though. But
no.
Yeah, there's hints of
but
it.
Again,
I can't see why it would specifically go down.
You got to think of
any other IPA, really.
Yeah. Well, you got to think of because I'm trying to think of because Torpedo is probably a little bit more more of a true West Coast IPA. Because it's got more hops and kind of, it's. Yeah, I just think it's just a weak version of an IPA. I don't want to say it was West Coast, but I think it's just an IPA.
It's I think it's kind of neither one thing nor the other.
Torpedo is probably
all sorts of different things. I think it's it has got a bit of West Coast. It's got a bit of IPA. It's got a bit of pale ale, but it's neither one thing nor the other.
Yeah.
I quite like the aroma. The aroma's quite fruity and sort of zesty in that, but I probably prefer the pale ale, to be honest.
Interesting.
But so basically, I guess the day I find if I could find the rock beer from Sierra Nevada, basically I would do that and just go. You would have to get a Torpedo IPA and try that one.
Oh, so we're diverging the games now, yeah. I would. No, that's fair, because I would hate a Torpedo. I've seen the description. I think it is available there.
Yeah, you guys can get Torpedo.
Yeah.
As I said, the Rocks beer, I think it's a rare release. It's not a seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's the worst thing about this is I've got another 3 cans of it.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that you got that much.
Yeah, they come in these little handy 4-pack cubes, which they look cute, and that's quite a big thing here in supermarkets. So like they almost market them as like or whatever. But if I knew anything about sending beer to America, I'd quite happily send you a couple.
Yeah, but no, it's like they sell that here too. But then the shop I go to, some people you can buy 1 can, so they just break the 4-pack, 6-pack up and kind of thing. So they go and shelf it. So okay, I'll grab one. So that way you're not stuck with buying 4 or 6. So you're gonna go in.
Yeah, I very rarely buy 4 of anything that I think I'm probably not going to like. It's not that I don't like it; it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's one it's just one to try, really.
Yeah.
But it's now in my stash. So if I need a beer that I'm not not to review, like if I'm just doing like a social thing or just having a quick beer, I'll grab it, I'll drink it. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd make a half decent shandy. Long about lemon. I know that's probably like sacrilegious, but I'd probably, it's one I'd like make into a cocktail or a shandy or something. Be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend, he kind of did that. And it was, I laughed with it because he made a shandy and said, okay, what beer did you make your shandy with? It says, oh, Newcastle. I'm going like, oh. Like, okay.
Oh.
I was like, that was...
Newcastle.
Okay, now, to be fair, it's... Yeah, so, which is kind of funny because I said, no, what? Because the beers, I went to a place, they had to go, okay, usually they kind of cared to me, they order beers I kind of like, they didn't order anymore. I'm like, okay, what am I going to drink now? Oh, I don't know. Like, okay. So I said, okay, just for a joke, I'm going to drink a Newcastle Brown. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, this is better than I thought it was. But however, it's not, here in America, Lagunitas brews the Newcastle. And
really?
The funny thing is, it's in a brown bottle, not a clear bottle.
Yeah.
Ooh, scandal.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. So it's still not the best brown I've ever had, but I'm going like it's better than that. I call a watered down, out of the clear bottle kind of.
It's
thing.
another one that was an absolute classic here, and I was shocked when I went. I mean, I went to Hawaii rather than the mainland USA. And I was drinking Newcastle Brown in Hawaii, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. But it's another one that's gone big beer, so it's arguably lost a bit of quality. But it's one I can just grab if there's nothing else in this. If it's one of them supermarkets where there's very little else, it's one that will do.
Yeah.
It's not amazing anymore. It used to be. I've had it on draft up in Newcastle, but outside the ground. So, and that's pretty good. But you can only really see it in bottles these days.
So it's like I said, it's kind of funny to hear people talk about it. It's like, I get it, and kind of, I mean, I agree, kind of, it's not the best. I'm sure it was better back in the day kind of thing, but it was just funny that now how somebody got the whole recipe here, they tweaked it, so it's not as bad, but again, I'm not going to be seeking it out. It was just one of those, like, I'm just going to try it just for the fun of it. It's like, okay, I've had it, and move on.
How like the recipe goes from being a bit poor here, whether they make it identical over there, what they do with the water and stuff like that'd be interesting to know. Be interesting comparison.
Yeah, but no, oops, before I spill it all, I was actually, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
That's one way of getting out of it.
Wait a minute, it's alcohol abuse. I'm going, wait. Actually, no, of course, I think that the alcohol, the ABV is probably kicking in a little bit more, but I was going, I'm enjoying it now.
Okay, it's really good.
So it's, yeah. But as I said, now, like I said before, now if I were to move on to something else, it'd be just go like,
yeah,
how much, I had to find something comparable to it, which I sort of do, but yeah. It'd be one of those like, okay, this would be the last one for the night kind of thing, I think. But no, yeah. I'm enjoying it. As I said at first, it kind of like the shock of it. And now I'm kind of like, okay, it's warmed up to me.
Well, that's good to hear, mate. That's really good to hear. Crumbly says I found the Cali IPA a bit poor, by the way, and Shark's whopping it at 3 p.m. He certainly is. What are you drinking, Crumbly, by the way? Are you drinking anything, Crumbly? Yes. And right, so this has been fantastic, fellas. I've really quite enjoyed just sitting back here. I didn't want to interfere much because the sound quality has been pretty shoddy at times. But yeah, some great little chat. See, Disco, you don't need me. You can just do this yourself. I might have another 2 weeks off.
Well, no, it was an interesting comparison. I think we're both sort of on the same page, but opposite ends of the spectrum. Shark, that we sort of don't like the idea of what it is we've decided to drink, but it's okay, but it's not something we'd go to regular like.
No, like I said, you would have it now. I mean, okay, I can have that. I can drink it. And I can do with this. I can drink it too. kind of thing. But as I said, I'm just not going to go tomorrow and go, I'm going to go get a 6-pack of it kind of thing.
Yeah, I might be. Oh, yes, and Crumbly had a couple of beer monsters.
Yeah, he's got a bit of machine. He's got the ABK.
Yeah.
Yes, because there was quite a good rugby match on today. Hey, nice little result. England beating South Africa 27-26. Oh, that's a close one. Good. Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, fellas, I think that's it. Unless you got anything else to add.
No, I'm good.
I'm good
No,
at the moment.
I was briefly considering diving into the stash for a smoky beer myself, but I still got these on the go, so I might finish off with one later just to round it off nicely, but I'd have to wait, do it on the stream. So, yeah, no, thanks for popping along, Shark, and doing it and going for the craziness of something you just don't like.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to do it again. Hope maybe we can find something else that we just both don't like. I mean, the other beer I don't like is sour. I don't like sour, so we need to. So, I would be willing to do another challenge like that if you want to down the road, maybe next year sometime. Yeah,
no, definitely. I mean, I'm not fussed on sours. I always try them, and I've recently found one I like, and the others were just okay. So, yeah, we'll have to find something else. I like a good little.
I think we had to find something that we both. I think we find something that we both don't like. And kind of go that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Same style.
Yeah.
And maybe by then Roscoe will be out of COVID. Maybe.
I bloody hope so. This is very, very boring. Oh mate, honestly.
Well, I would hope so. You got 10 days, haven't you? So, or you got less than 10 days now, I guess.
Yeah, I should have less than 10 days. I should be done by Wednesday. We'll see.
Good.
Do you have to be tested to go back to work or kind of thing?
Well, I'm a freelancer, so it doesn't really matter. But,
okay.
So to leave my house, I've got to take what they call it a PCR test. That's been posted out to me, but there's no point doing it now because it won't get to them on the weekend. Yeah. So I'll do it early Monday morning, send it. Hopefully I get a result by Wednesday, and then I can go to the festival on Thursday. So, yes, hopefully it all comes together.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you sound fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I started feeling sick on Monday, and it wasn't that bad. At night time, it got really bad. I started getting headaches, and after I was on the debate with John on Wednesday, I went to bed and I was sweating. So I had patches. I had patches on me. I didn't know it was COVID at that point either. And then it started clearing up. I had my sense of smell all the way from Monday till Friday. Friday is when I lost my sense of smell. And I mean, it's weird. I was cooking some pizzas up yesterday, and everyone in the house said, "Can you smell that?" I said, "Nope." And I put some pepper to my nose. None. It's very weird. You know, you get some pepper, you get some chili, put it straight to your nose. Nothing.
Oh, that's oof.
Yeah. So I can still taste things, but reduced.
Yeah. I'm glad you're doing well. I mean,
thanks,
it could have been worse, kind of thing. So I'm glad you're doing well. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So it's my weird experience of this week.
Yeah.
There. And on that note, I believe Manchester United have just sacked their manager.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks, Shark, for doing it and drinking along with us, and we'll see you again soon. I'll try and get this up. Hopefully I'll get it up on YouTube on Monday anyway, so if you are watching this on Monday on YouTube and you're still watching at this point, thank you very much as well. Hopefully I'll get it flipped around this time and all the sound will be all right, but we shall see.
So Disco, on option 3, I'll let you know how that is. You know my drift.
Yes. Okay. I'm sure.
So you know what I'm talking about. So option 3, I'll let you know how it is.
Cheers, Crumbly, for sticking with us. All the best. Believe enough.
Yeah, thanks, Crumbly.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.
Cheers.
Bye, bye, bye. Cheers, truck. Bye, bye.